Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. It's time to go over the Strangler Heart Power Armor, how can you get it and how can you craft it. This is going to be a complete guide on everything you need to know about the strongest power armor in game right now. The Strangler Heart Power Armor got introduced with Vault 94 over a month ago when Bethesda released, Vault 94. There are 3 missions, as you probably know: Dead in the Water, Meltdown, and Wash Out. If you have no idea how to do these missions, then feel free to go ahead and check my complete guides on each mission. Now, I know that most of you don't like Vault 94 because it is very difficult and the rewards are not so interesting comparing to all the effort that you need to do. Get a team together, communicate, rush, get that pressure on you. I understand all of these factors, but this is the only way to get Strangler Heart plans as well as Torn and Solar armor plans. Now, why the hell should you be interested in getting a Strangler Heart Power Armor? Straight answer here, because it's the strongest power armor in game right now. And here's a small comparison with the Prototype X01 and the Ultrasight Power Armors versus the Strangler Heart. As you can see, the stats are a little bit better. Besides that, you also get a set bonus when you collect all the Strangler Heart Power Armor pieces, which is always a bonus, even though it doesn't work too well for other people, but I will show you what that means at the end of this guide. Without any further delay, let's start. Alright, I don't think there is any other way to start this guide without telling you guys how to get the plans. Yes, you heard me right in the intro, the only way is to finish or complete Vault raids. Any of the 3 missions is fine, but you have to do it in Standard or Expert. If you do it in Novice, then you won't get any plans. It's not a bug, it's on purpose, because Novice is supposed to be an introduction to the missions. It has no time limit, it allows you to explore, to take your time to do everything and get familiar with the mission. Now, I can't lie to you guys, it's not easy to do it in Standard or Expert, but it is the only way, so you have to do it if you really want the plans. Anyway, you must know that you won't always get a plan even if you finish in Standard or Expert, especially when you have most of the plans, because there seems to be some sort of random tier system, and if you trigger a plan that you already got, then you won't get any plans for that run. So it took me longer than expected to collect all the plans, but I eventually did it. Once you get the plans, it's time to understand what you need to craft each piece. Well, the bad news is that you need a lot of things to craft the power armor, just like any other really. And here's what you need without any perks, but I will show you what you need with the perk as well for power armor crafting, which decreases the requirements by a decent amount. I highly suggest you to use it, especially because you need less Vault 94 steel to craft each piece, which means you need less vaults completed, and that's always great in my opinion. Keep in mind that the perk you need to equip is Power Patcher and not Power Smith. This last one doesn't do anything in terms of materials required to craft the power armor. And as you can see, you need way less materials to craft it, and that's really great. It saved me a lot of farming and Vault 94 runs as well. Since you need 30 Vault 94 steel per piece, standard, with the perk you need a little bit less, 27 per power armor piece. That means you need to farm the hell out of the vault. It took me about 1 month to fully get all the steel I needed to craft the 6 pieces. And I basically did Vault raids, Novice, Standard, and Expert every day, almost every day. It is a lot of grinding, it's a lot of time and effort to spend, But if you want the best power armor in game right now, the Strangler Heart, then this is what you have to do. There is really no way around this if you want to go the legit way, because if you think about it, the plans and Vault 94 steel, they are both unique items, which means you cannot drop, sell, or trade them. Now, you might be wondering, if this is so difficult to get and craft, how are people getting it? I mean, there is plenty of Strangler Heart Power Armors right now. Well, I must inform you that there is an exploit which allows people to kinda trade the pieces, and I hope Bethesda will fix it as soon as possible, because it's extremely unfair for people like me who took weeks, even months, to farm this the legit way. Let's move on to the components that you need in order to craft the power armor pieces. First of all, where can you get legendary modules? Head to the Barkley Springs station, where you can find Previer, and you can buy each one for 50 scrip. Some people have been asking me what is this for, some even think it is bugged, but they're not loot boxes, guys. This is a component for crafting power armor from Vault 94. You need them for the Power Armor Strangler Heart, as well as Thorn and Solar normal armors. So there you go, now you know what is it for, and you will need a decent amount of scrip in order to get all the legendary modules for the 6 Power Armor pieces. You will need some rubber too, not too much though. The best way to farm rubber is to head to the Grafton's High School. I use this method for ages. It's the best one in game and the quickest one as well. Just head to the sports area, and outside you will find lots of basketballs inside this container, and inside the little room you will find kickballs. Both of them can be scrapped for rubber, and that's very handy. Don't forget that they have a 24 hours cooldown, so server jumping doesn't work here, but this should be plenty of rubber for you to work and get all the power armor pieces that you need. You will need some gears as well. There are many ways to farm them, but my favorite way is to simply farm dead claws. For example, here at the abandoned waste dump, you can find 2 dead claws inside the cave, so just go inside, kill them, collect the gears, and you can simply server jump. You don't have to do anything else at all, but if you hate to server jump, I will show you 2 more locations where you can find dead claws. They are fixed spots. Of course there are more, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to show all of them in the map. So these 3 locations I'm showing you are all in the east side of the map, which are somewhat close and will save you caps. Okay, the second one is here at the Thunder Mounted substation in Watauga. It's a fixed spawn, and you will usually find a dead claw surrounded by ants, and sometimes they can be legendary. The third location is a little bit to the north. It's called the Hopewell Cave, and again you will always find a dead claw here unless it's on cooldown. So make sure to come inside the cave, watch the dead claw spawning, attack it, kill it, get your gears, and it's up to you what to do next. Server jump, go to other locations. I will leave that to you. Moving away from the gears, how can you get lots of loose screws? My best and most favorite way is to come here to the Wendigo cave, because it's the only fixed spawn for a Wendigo. I know it's a little bit bothersome because you have to walk all the way to the end of the cave, but you will always find a Wendigo here unless it has been killed and it's on cooldown. As you can see, it will drop loose screws. It's normally between 6 and 9. It's not a fixed value. Anyway, you can also go to the Big B's rest stop. It has a chance to spawn a Wendigo. It's not 100%, it's just an alternative if you don't want to head to the Wendigo's cave. Anyway, there are many other places where you can go with a chance to spawn a Wendigo, like the Heavens Church inside at the very bottom. Usually it will spawn one as well. I will give you just one more alternative here at the Hawks Refugee. This is personally one of my favorite locations because you can spawn a legendary, sometimes even 2. And again, in this room upstairs, you can also find a Wendigo most of the time. There are many different ways to farm nuclear waste, but I feel like the quickest and most reliable way is to come here at Solomon's Pound, where you can find a behemoth, and he will drop a decent amount of nuclear waste per kill. Now, this place is not popular at all, which means you will most likely find it when you need nuclear waste. Just make sure to server jump if you need more than what you just got. Farming silver used to be a problem for me in the past, but recently I found this amazing spot south of Moss Town, where you can always find a mega slot. It's a fixed location for it, and it is not popular at all. Not many people know about this, so if you need silver, this is the place to come, because you can simply server jump and farm as much silver as you need. The other location you can try is at Niagara Town. It's not a fixed spawn, but you will find a mega slot most of the time there, just around the town. You can also find 2 other big creatures like a deathclaw or a fog crawler. So if you need several ingredients or components for the power armor, you can perfectly come here, because whatever you end up finding, you can still loot them and get value out of it. Just like the deathclaw. You still need gears, so pick it up. If you only need silver and you don't really like the previous locations because it kinda requires server jumping, then come here to the Charleston Capitol building, where you can find tons of ghouls, and they often drop silver items like forks and knives. Quite often, actually. It's a really great place for leveling up too, so you can get double value out of it. I used to have some troubles farming aluminium as well, but recently I found out that TV trays drop 3 per scrap. That's great. Here at the Watauga High School you can find tons of plastic as well as aluminium from the TV trays on the eating area, as well as in the kitchen. So make sure to collect all you see and you will have plenty of aluminium to go for. Don't forget, this is a 24 hours spawn rate, no need to server jump. Alright, we are almost done with the components for the power armor, and I will show you location to get oil and copper very easily. First of all, make sure to select them in your component view to ensure that the items you pick up have either oil or copper or both. So go to the Blackwater mine, and outside you can find plenty of fuel, normally in canisters, and some of them have copper, like rusty ones. And you can find lots of stuff in here. And you have a bench outside as well as inside. Depending on how much oil and copper you need, you might want to head inside the mine, because there are even more canisters there, especially paint ones and blow torches. Again, you just have to look around. I found tons of them, and I had to sell after this one run. So you don't need to server jump here, I think, unless you were depleted at zeros, then you might have to do another run. But it is very convenient. You can farm both at once, and normally you don't have to do more than one run. Ideally, you want to craft 1 power armor piece at a time. Don't forget to equip your power smith perk in intelligence, because it will reduce the amount of components that you need to craft every single piece. I did mostly 1 by 1, but the last 3 pieces I saved for the sake of this video. As you guys can see, you need a decent amount of components per piece, and with the perk, it makes your life a little bit easier, and I'm all up for that. Don't worry if you are missing a few components, you can always go back in this guide to understand where you need to go to farm what you need. Unless of course you need Vault 94 steel. For that one I can't help you much, you simply have to do vault raids with your team. What else should you know about the Strangler Heart Power Armor? Well, first of all, unlike some people have been spreading rumors, you don't need Vault 94 to repair it. As you can see, I tried to repair it manually and it doesn't ask me for the steel at all. Plus, you can always use repair kits to simply repair your armor Therefore, don't worry, once you craft it, you don't really have to farm Vault 94 anymore, at least not for this purpose. Also, the Strangler Heart Power Armor counts as an Ultra Sight Power Armor, so all the mods you have for the Ultra Sight will work for this one as well. It's very convenient, which means you can just farm the Scorch Beast Queen if you want any other mods, or well, at least a chance to find them. For those who don't have a Strangler Heart Power Armor, and for those who were wondering what are the set bonus, I'm going to show you how it works. First of all, you have a nasty damage to all armed attacks, and secondly, you have another set bonus, which is basically a poison damage to all the enemies around you. It's basically this, greenish, brownish cloud that you see in the enemies. And it does minimal damage. It's like a very small dot, area effect damage, but hey, every little damage helps. I did further testing on this dot, and I let this wolf, for example, hit me for a while, and as you can see, I'm speeding it up quite a bit, and the damage is very little, but it's slowing killing it. So let's say you were AFK in Power Armor, I guess the enemies would eventually die, but you would probably die first, depending on the enemies. Now, wolves are not so strong, but if ghouls hit you like this, you would be dead long ago. Anyway, it's a decent amount of damage, clearly. I also tested the melee hit set bonus. I started by hitting this honey beast with my normal knife, no power armor. As you can see, I'm doing 75 to 86 damage per hit without crits. Now inside power armor things get a little bit better, and the damage per hit without any crits is from 83 to about 94 per hit, and it does make a difference. I mean, the more damage you do, the more damage it seems to do inside power armor, so maybe it kind of scales with your actual damage. Maybe. I would need way more testing to prove that, but it does feel like it. However, to lower enemies, it does a substantial amount of damage, like the bee swarm is dying just from the AoE damage. I'm not hitting anything, and the swarms are going down pretty quickly actually. But on the honey beast itself, it's not doing much. I think it also depends on the enemy's defenses. So overall, it's a great power armor, not just in terms of stats, but also the bonuses add up damage really well. Everything stacks, and that's beautiful. I want to leave you guys a final note on the Strangler Heart Power Armor. Not everything is positive right now. Actually, when you go to events like Scorched Earth or Encrypted, people will ask you to get out of the power armor. Why? Because the clouds, the poison clouds you make with it, can really lag people or make them crash. Just like this. As you can see, the particles, the rendering is way more than normal. So in this case, me and Corey were using it, and several people asked us in voice to please stop using it because they were lagging really badly, they couldn't move, they were afraid to crash, and I have personally received several messages asking me to cover this topic because it can get really, really bad. Like several people just crashed during the Queen, and that's not funny for them. But it's not funny for us either. I spent over 1 month farming this power armor, and now I can't use it when I need it the most. It's really not fair. We are almost at the end of this guide. What do you guys think so far about the Strangler Heart Power Armor? Do you have one yet? I surely have mine, but my feelings about it are quite mixed, because this is a very strong power armor. It's the best in game right now, and the power armor set bonuses are very strong. They stack up, they make my melee build stronger, but what's the use in having it if I can't benefit at all? I mean, I'm always getting out of the power armor during events. Even in raids, some people lag and crash, so I'm always afraid that I might be the cause or responsible for making other people lag or even crash. That's not a great experience. I hate it. But on the other hand, I like the power armor. I worked so hard to get it, so it's really a mixed feeling. I hope Bethesda will find a solution soon for this, because it doesn't make sense. Why would they create a power armor that is the best in game? So supposedly people want to get it, and then you can't use it because there is a bug, a glitch that, I don't know, makes everyone lag. That's going to be everything for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide will help you get your Strangler Heart Power Armor. Anyway, if you are new to the channel, feel free to click in the subscribe button below. And if you'd like to support me further, I have a Patreon page, and the link is in the video description below as usual. Until the next time, take care. Adios. Bye bye.